proprietary software is incompatible with private property. A couple of weeks back, lungeek.locals.com, the discussion group formed around computer journalist Brian Lungeek, got rather divided over the question of whether open source software is capitalist or socialist, with both capitalist and socialist saying things that, frankly, I think are entirely wrong-headed. Both categories are not applicable to open source software. More importantly, though, I would like to discuss my belief that proprietary software undermines private property, which is a precondition for a free market economy. The real issue, I believe, is ownership of computer hardware. When you install, say, Microsoft Windows, you enter into an agreement with the Microsoft Corporation that you will not disassemble the computer's executable code to find out how it works. You will not modify its behavior. You will not redistribute the software. Now, this is claimed to be enforcement of Microsoft's, quote, property. However, and I just made the finger air quotes. However, this is handled through copyright law, not common law, which in English-speaking countries is the area that deals with ownership of land and various things that you might have on that land. So this is a false equivalency between two areas of law, and furthermore, copyright law as a whole is based on positivist views of law, that societies make up laws whole cloth rather arbitrarily, whereas, speaking as someone who is essentially an anarcho-capitalist amongst other things, I believe that my views on law is based on legal realism, that laws are a side effect of humans existing in a universe which has geometric constraints, time, etc., matter, all that sort of thing. Although different societies implement laws in slightly different manners, such as us here in the West using a pen to sign our name, whereas if you go to Japan you have a stamp, those are merely customary differences regarding how the same problem is addressed, putting your mark on an agreement. And in the past, there was also writing up two different versions of the same contract and then separating the pieces of paper, ripping them apart very carefully in such a way that you can see that the two halves of the original double copy match together like jigsaw pieces. Anyway, so yeah, a precondition for a market economy is private property. Private property is something which every non-revolutionary society has come up with, and a few of the revolutionary ones, as a way of settling disputes over who owns what, or rather, who is entitled to use what. And when you go to use proprietary software, your rights as the owner of the computer are swindled away from you. And look, if you haven't looked into it, I strongly recommend investigating the Fujitsu Horizon scandal in the UK with the sub-postmasters. That was a collaboration of a proprietary software firm with the British state that led to people committing suicide, because computers were being remote accessed and records were being altered behind people's backs. It is absolutely evil stuff. So, in conclusion, because of the issue of realism versus positivism, I don't endorse either the Free Software Foundation or Open Source Institute's approach, which is copyright-centric, that takes copyright as a given. However, I believe as computer owners we must reject proprietary software in order to maintain our rights. This is some time ago I put forward on my blog the idea of a Libertarian Software Institute, and once again I'm thinking of this. But that's a recording for another day. Ryan McCoskrie, over and out.